Your boys went down by 24 points yesterday. Some positives to come out of it. Can I just start with former skipper Mark Murphy? Saw that he went down with a knee injury, hobbled off the ground. Have you got an update on Murph for us?
Yeah, look, he just got a little knock. He was only going to play the first 3 quarters anyway, and that happened 2 minutes before he was going to stop playing. So it was an easy decision, but no, it's just a little knock. He'll be fine.
Let's start with some of the positives, including the young midfielders who you chucked in the centre bounce yesterday. Walsh and Dow and Petrevski-Seaton were in there, so certainly that was a pleasing aspect, their performance yesterday.
Yeah, it was. They applied themselves well. There was some good learning from there for them as well. They came up against some Jago O'Meara was quite good in that area and was strong, so hopefully they'll take a little bit of what he does well and add that to his game. But no, I thought they all competed pretty well. I thought Walsh's ability to run and compete and just get to contest was outstanding. Samo with the ball in hand looked really nice, and he's had a great pre-season. And Dow in his second year is just continuing to grow. And no, I think there's some really exciting future there for the Carlton midfield.
In the forward line, you went certainly for a half with 3 talls, McGovern, Mackay and Curnow as well, who's going to be the staple down there. Is that the mix that you want? Is that the mix you think will work, 3 talls?
We hope so. Yeah, at this stage we plan to play 3. Again, form will come into it. You can't just play them if they're not playing well. So hopefully we can get those guys. We've also got Tom DeConnie in the last quarter came on, and so kept us to the three talls in the fourth quarter as well. So him and Paddy Kerr. So we've got plenty of height down there. Levi played mainly ruck, but we've got some good options there. We just need to make sure that we're getting the ball in there quick enough to give them one-on-ones and they're marking the ball, and we get that balance between offence and defence and being able to trap it in our front half.
It appeared that way that Hawthorn were able to sort of cut you up with their skills off half-back, and perhaps there wasn't the required pressure in the forward line when it did hit the ground. Ed Curnow, you trialled down there as that forward line pressure player. Have you got a player? Have you got enough small forwards that can put on that enormous pressure like the Richmonds of the AFL do?
Yeah, I probably saw the game slightly different. I think we actually forced them to kick long down the line a lot. Probably our ability to get the numbers in there, they outnumbered us. Our speed of ball wasn't probably as quick as we'd have liked. So when the ball went in there, they got extra numbers back there. But once they won the ball, we actually forced Hawthorn to kick long down the line a lot. So in that sense, I thought the defence held up. It was probably just the contest off the back of that. We just need to continue to improve. But it is an area for us to grow in. Ed's been outstanding over the pre-season. Cam Paulson's had a really good pre-season. He probably didn't play as well as he would have liked yesterday. But if he keeps training the way he has been and the intensity trains, that I've got no doubt it will turn into some good football for Carlton.
Clearly, as all young sides do, you work on your defensive pressure and your ability to limit the opposition's scoring, which seems to be a massive improvement. It certainly was last year. But scoring yourself, we know, has been well documented. How much work have you done on it, and how are you going to kick winning scores this year?
Yeah, look, it is. It's a balancing act, and last year we probably introduced a little bit more of the offence, and this pre-season we probably looked at ability to win the contest, and then we want to be able to trap the ball in our front half. That's probably something we haven't been able to do. So in terms of being able to score, if the game's played in your front half, you're more chance of hitting the scoreboard. So we've continued to work on our defence. Our offence is obviously a major area, but we think if our defence can stop the ball in our front half, that'll actually increase our offence as well. So they go hand in hand. Yesterday, unfortunately, we went for a bit more, but we turned the ball over and we gave Hawthorn some easy goals. But as a coaching group, we loved it that the guys are trying and back themselves in, and we've still got another 4 weeks before round 1, and if we can continue to improve, we think we've got a game style that we'll be able to compete. We just need to be able to execute it continuously under pressure.
Carlton's David Teague joining us on SEN this morning. Did you see that as the major difference in the game yesterday? It was just the skill level between the more experienced Hawthorn side and perhaps the way that you turned over the footy? Yeah,
our turnovers hurt us. But we were pleased. They were good, aggressive, positive turnovers on quite a few occasions. So, look, we're going to continue to get the balance right, and that's going to be a challenge for us. You don't want to go too far either way. But, yeah, Hawthorn did. Our turnovers were probably often across half-back, so Hawthorn only had to go a short distance to goal where we probably didn't generate as many turnovers from Hawthorn. They probably kicked long down the line. We got them to kick long down the line, but we couldn't turn them into turnovers. So there was a little bit of the contest stuff. There was a few areas, but as a whole, we're really happy with the way the game turned out. We got some gains into some new guys at the footy club. They got a bit of a feel for playing with their teammates, and we're excited going forward that we saw some positive signs, and there's still some good areas for us to work on.
A couple of JLT games to get through before round one. You'll take on Essendon in the JLT game. The first one, that's next Thursday. That game commences at 6:40. How will you approach the two games? Is it the best sort of 25 players for both games, or will you try and juggle game time and how much you get into your players that need it?
Oh, there'll definitely be a focus for round one and managing the workloads of each individual, but for where our group's at, the more continuity of games together, I think, will really help us. So I imagine, without putting anyone at risk, we'll be trying to get our best team out there that will be ready for round one as soon as possible and get them playing games together. We've brought a few new guys in, and obviously some new draftees as well, which if we can get them playing more and more together, then hopefully they'll gel, and that synergy of a group will improve. So I'm expecting a pretty strong team for us next week.
A few texts coming through, 0433 98 11 16 from the Carlton fans. Can you just give us an update on Tom Williams? Of course, he's yet to hit the park, didn't play yesterday. Williamson, I should say. Can you give us an update on Tom and how he's tracking with his injury?
Yeah, he was progressing well, and then he said he's been out of training the last couple of weeks. I'm not exactly sure what his time frame is, but I'm doubtful he'll be ready for round one in terms of just having enough gameplay into him. But I don't know the specifics of time frame or anything, so I can't say too much. But he's a player we really value, and when he was out on the track, he was looking exciting. So hopefully we can get him up and going.
And as a coach, you're nervous about AFLX tonight? Your captain, your best player is going to be running around? You watch and hold your breath?
Look, there may be some of the... I don't. I like it. It's exciting. Injuries do happen, but they've happened for us at training. Do you stop training? No, you've got to get better. And I know this game's not ideal, but football's entertainment. People come to watch. So I hope it's a spectacular. I hope that the players put on a show, and it's really exciting football, and they're going for their marks and going for their kicks, and the crowd gets something out of it.
Sorry, mate. One of the players that's tended to lose his way at times last year was Liam Jones. A really important one for you, and at his best, he's as good as anyone intercepting the ball across half-back. Good news was he's outstanding yesterday from all reports, but how's his pre-season been, and do you think he's now learning what he can and can't do in the game?
Yeah, look, his pre-season was strong, and then he broke his hand, so he had a couple of weeks out. We didn't think he was going to be right for yesterday, but he got up. He marked the ball really well yesterday, so that intercept marking that you talked about was quite strong. So hopefully that continues. It's a balancing act between being able to mark and knowing when you've just got to defend your opponent. So look, it's a work in progress. I think he's into his second or third year down back, and hopefully he just continues to grow. Even though he's a little bit older, he's learning his craft as a defender. He's still pretty young in that sense. So over the pre-season, he's been really strong. So hopefully that continues.
It'd be nice to have a couple of Charlie Curnows, but how's the balance of leaving him forward where I think he does his best work and he's most dangerous, as opposed to getting him sort of glimpses through the midfield? Will you experiment with that throughout the pre-season?
Yeah, he went through the midfield yesterday. Now that we played yesterday, Harry and Mitch, and we've got that tall power that we're probably a little bit more flexible. Last year, often Charlie was sort of one out, or we had two talls, and the other one might have been rucking, so it made it hard to put him through the midfield too much. But as the season goes on, hopefully if he's not getting into the game, then you've got that ability to throw him on ball, or if you think there's an advantage there, we can do it. So it gives us a little bit of flexibility. At training, we hadn't thrown him in there too much, and then the last few weeks we threw him through the midfield, and he just kept getting the ball. So it is something that does excite us, but we also love him as a forward. So, and he's comfortable playing wherever is best for the team, and even yesterday he was looking okay early. He went on ball, and he felt like maybe he should have stayed forward, but in terms of the development, we wanted to have a look at him on ball. So I love the way he's playing at the moment. He's really keen on playing team first footy and doing whatever the team needs. So he's a pleasure to coach.
Good problem to have. Hey, before we let you go, a lot of hype around Sam Walsh, of course, the number 1 draft pick from last year, including, some calling him a future Brownlow medalist. The pressure, what sort of character is he, and can he cope with the hype?
No, look, I think he can cope with the hype if his professionalism is anything, the way he's turned up to the football club, and not so much his ability to perform, but his ability to train, the intensity he trains at, he's very mature for his age. And no, I think it's only early doors, but the way he's approached training, I think not only the young guys at our footy club, but anyone at our footy club can look at him because he just trains with an intensity. The 2 Curnow boys probably drive that, and we've added a couple. Gibbons has turned up, and another Matthew Cottrell's another young fella that's just turned up and training with real intensity and ability to run and push each other. It's been good to watch.
Teague, thanks for joining us this morning.
Not a problem, Kane.
David Teague from the Blues. It's less than 30 days until round 1. Blue Baggers, make sure you're bound by blue in 2019. Sign up and become a Carlton member today. Head to membership.carltonfc.com.au or call the club this morning on 1300 Carlton.